Hello, and welcome to another episode of playing Crusader Kings 3 on the hardest possible rule set, starting as the Duchy of Champagne 1178. So we really struggled in this game, spent much of it landless after we were by Henry II. Finally, in the last episode, we got some land, but it's not great. Then our character died. See, we're currently losing money because we have the size of our army is just too great for fort. So I think we are going to have to downsize our army, unfortunately. We'll start by getting them um, under their limits here. And I really want to do is get them down far enough where we're at least breaking even when they aren't raised. Okay, so this is not good. We're surrounded by duchies that have very powerful armies. As you can see, all their armies are going to be larger than ours. We do have an ally, at least for now, relating to, well, I guess taking. Okay, I guess he's attacking Hungary, which owns Croatia, trying to take Croatia from them. Fine. Um, in the meantime, I think our best option. Currently daughters. We're hoping we can have at least a few more children with our husband, who we are trying to romance. Fortunately, he has consumption. My daughters, so we'll. We also only have two holdings, which isn't great. We're playing as part of the hardest possible rules, and so that's hurting us quite a bit. It is tough to see where we're going to expand from here, but all we can really do is try to upgrade our domain here, build some more buildings, some good economic buildings, and hopefully we'll get some opportunities. People around us, rulers will die, or something will happen to give us an opening to expand. But right now this is just a very challenging set of circumstances. So, as I said in our very first episode, I'm not going to be rebooting or restarting anything. I'm simply going to play through, and if the campaign ultimately ends in failure, then it does. And we'll look back, and hopefully at least the failure will be entertaining. We can talk about what went wrong. And having another child. So you can see that Mali, Muslim, has a scourge conqueror and a huge empire here. The Ayyubids, that's Saladin's dynasty. They start as a scourge conqueror. Saladin does, and so unsurprisingly, they're very powerful. See the Mongols under son of Genghis Khan, also quite strong, as are these Khwarezmids. Closer to home, Wallachia is a scourge conqueror. So we have a lot of threats around us. I think the worst thing would be if we lost our land again, though that could happen. If you saw last episode, we tried to attack Denmark when we were landless and take over their kingdom. I think that would have been a great thing to great land to hold if we could have done it, but for whatever reason, as soon as we raised our armies, they were starving. and we just immediately lost the war, got stack wiped, so that was a disaster. And so we tried to look for a weaker duchy, and Bar was the best that we could find, and so that's where we are. And we're just going to try to improve Bar, improve the counties that we hold. Only 2 counties currently, and we will go from there. Take that option to get some more gold. We really need gold here. I assume I'm not actually going to be competing in most of these except the recital. Yeah, but maybe we can get some benefits. I've often joked about how there are lots of very strong female knights at tournaments, so we could maybe luck out there and get someone very powerful who will help us in wars. So this is going to be our son and heir. Our character is beautiful, and I think our husband is robust. You see our son got both those traits, which is very strong. Very lucky to get both of them. So this should be our heir going forward. I think that he'll work out very well. We want to make sure that we're educating him, passing on the best traits we can to him. I mean, this character has some quite good traits. Temperate, strong, ambitious, brave. So I think there's we can help shape our son in our image, and make him a strong character, because we certainly need that given where we are. Okay, so this is quite good. We get this very powerful female knight. We want to marry her to someone who is also has a high prowess, who is a guest or courtier. This guy looks good. Because we're playing on very hard, 12 is the highest we're going to get for any stat for someone our courtiers marry. That's just the way it is because of the difficulty level we're at. So 12 is as good as it's going to be. Didn't want to pay gold there, and that was the only other option that did not involve massive stress, so that is what it is. We'll lose some stress here. Rather not have stress. I usually don't bet on these things. I think the odds are good and usually lose when I do bet, so guess we're just going to be watching. Obviously, is one of the unfortunate things about playing a female ruler is that you're very limited in what you can do in grand tournaments, and also limited in hunts. But I think our father had 5 daughters total. Didn't have a son, and so this is where we are. All those options that give superstition, which I don't really want. I certainly want to make her compassionate because it's a virtue. So you get benefits to vassal opinion, so fairly easy choice there. Just take the stress loss since you're not competing and it doesn't really matter to us. This one, I think we will be competing, or I guess not. Okay. sort of doomed effort here. We still have this brutal consumption plague that killed our father. Oh, maybe I did somehow get my way to compete. Okay. So I did win the recital. Let's see if I get anything worthwhile in terms of an artifact. You know, it is a lot of prestige, and some gold, some renown, so all good stuff. Guess we won't ever see what that artifact is. I think Gardener is a good trait in terms of stress loss. So as soon as my older daughter, her education is complete, we will be switching to educating my son. Let's go ahead and vote for him. I think that should mean that he gets everything. Yep. It's a difficult decision. Okay. Thought I had a position. I mean, we have a. I don't. Yeah, we have a good position here. We'll spend the gold position. Hopefully my son doesn't die. That would be very sad. Let's hope this treatment works. Doesn't tell us. Okay, he did get reduced disease symptoms, so hopefully he pulls through it. Don't really want rivals, so let's take the massive amount of stress again. Looks like this plague is finally clearing up. Bohemia is still fighting over Croatia. Looks like Abbasids and Ayyubids are moving into Europe, so dark days for Europe. Unfortunately, I really can't do much in terms of conquest without my ally Bohemia. Just don't have a strong enough army to do anything. And because we're playing on very hard, where AI gets extra gold and men-at-arms are cheaper for them, you can see that everyone surrounding me has very large army, larger than mine. I just can't attack them without a ally. Don't know that we really need to reform anything. I guess we'll take the big stress hit again. We'll spend the money to improve our development growth so we recover faster. Looks like my liege is in a number of wars. Guess we might as well go this grand tournament. Not like we're doing anything else. Yeah, Premslids are still fighting. Hopefully we can at least lose some stress here. Most of this stuff we're not competing in, so, you know, not able to compete in since we're a woman, so. Sure that we have the positions that we want here filled in. Okay, so we can do ladies in waiting. Okay. It's too bad we don't have a border up here with Lower Lotharingia. We could, you know, take some of those little counties, but you know we have to. We have to get through two very powerful duchies to get to it. We are playing on total exclave independence. That means when I die, any territories that are not connected to the realm where my capital is, the land where my capital is, either by land or by sea, will become independent. So if, say, we just went over there and got claims on these counties, whenever I died, they would all become independent. That said, Cologne is so good, might be worth getting a claim on them 2 years from now. So I think let's do that. Cologne has a special building, so it's worth getting, I think. And we'll just, you know, try to do something to figure out how to connect up our lands. Have angry knights out against us. Don't want to spend the gold. Speaking of where I do want to spend the gold, let's see. Okay, build some more. That touchy building, improve our gold. Vassal opinion. Take the health boost. Okay, this is something we can actually participate in. The one event we can. Let's try to increase our score as much as possible. Hopefully we can pull out a win here. It's worth a good amount of prestige and some gold. Get it. That's a lot of gold. So that's good. Oh, that was a misclick. I meant to do the other one instead of paying gold to her. So that's a clear mistake on my part. Build the windmill, which gives the most gold. Also gives development growth, just a very strong building overall. Okay, get the same event over and over again. Don't have to decide what we want to make him at the moment, but we will soon. Make him in the sense of what education we want him to have. One thing okay, well, it should already be equipped. I want to make sure I have my journal from my father, and it was not equipped. That is unfortunate. Now it is. You can see this has just a massive increase in monthly lifestyle experience. Okay, hopefully you can see it there. So, very powerful. Should really help us get through get more perks, which of course is very good. Let's check one at Bohemia. Okay, that's not good. So I no longer have my powerful alliance. How old is he's not? He's quite old and poor health. That's Champagne that I would like to attack. Man. One option is just let's see, how old is the head of ruler of Champagne? He's quite young. And one option is just to give up on dreams of getting back our homeland and take an alliance with someone right next to us. Is quite powerful. They'll be able to join immediately in either offensive or defensive wars. So we should be able to get Cologne. My son recovered from his consumption, which is great. Guess we'll just take this. Yeah, I don't know there's much of a reason to be. How terrible is it if I break the betrothal? Fairly bad, but rather see if we can get another alliance of some sort. Huh. I'm surprised I can get Scotland. I mean, we could do this. We probably have to. So here we do have two good allies now, and they're quite close to us. So at least we should be, safe from attacks, and we can go get Cologne here. And we'll have to figure out. Hopefully, there's a way to get through Upper Lotharingia and connect some of our lands. Since we're located in the Kingdom of Lotharingia, we can try to see if we can eventually get enough land to usurp the title. Architect, which is good, of course. Next, we'll be going down the branch to for Avaricious. You'll get wealth. To our windmills here. I don't know. I think let's just do this. Not really interested in this idea of challenging our culture. As soon as I finish the claim 1 Cologne, we'll be attacking it, bringing in our allies. That'll put me at 3 of 2 domain holdings, but if you know from watching my prior 2 campaigns, I very frequently play over the domain limit, usually by 1 or 2, so it doesn't really bother me. It's just a consequence of playing on the -3 domain limit for the player only as part of the hardest possible game rules. For a long time, I played with the other hard game rules like very hard difficulty, frequent scourge conquerors, Doomsday plagues, and so forth, but left the domain limit alone because I genuinely did not know whether it was possible to succeed playing with -3 domain limit. It's just very punishing. But I think it's probably something that can be done. I think let's make this character martial. So yeah, the -3 domain limit is really one of those things that is just punishing. Really hurts. So much of your power comes from your domain, and here we have 3 counties less than we'd otherwise have. I think we should only need to bring in one of our allies here. Feel relatively good. Have to see what happens when we raise our armies in terms of how much. I guess for 38 gold, I'll accept it. -6 a month. That's not too bad. We have another plague. Do we? Man. All right, let's. already still in capital isolation from the other one, so okay. This is just a really plagued land, I guess. Not sure where Champagne's armies are. Guess we'll call him in as well. We have a bunch of people die in our court again. Okay, there's Champagne, alright. Okay. Wonder if we can use that hook to modify our contract. Such as, yep, no feudal taxes. That'll help. I think we want to stay secluded, so we'll pass on that grand tournament. Obviously our husband died. So we have 2 alliances. Normally when you play on very hard, you get one major and 1 minor alliance. In terms of alliances, you can form with 4 foreign rulers, people who will join your wars. Actually we have 2 stronger alliances than I thought we would, but maybe it's just because of the stage of the game. They're willing to give us a quote-unquote minor alliance with someone that has 7,000 troops. Obviously my character is 44, so the chances of her having more children aren't good. I think let's try to not marry one who's lowborn. Maybe we just go with the person with the highest sum of skills, which also isn't very good. It's quite challenging. Guess let's go with this guy. We are playing on a restricted diplomatic range, so that does limit the number of options we get for marriage. Cologne has 2 castles in it, so hopefully when we finish this siege, the war will be over. And they have put together a pretty significant army. Can we, curious how well France is going to hold together. Oh, okay, so he has 1 other territory up here. That's the only castle in it, alright. So we do need to take this territory as well to finish off the campaign. I think let's try to go attack him. Now we'll have to leave the siege, but I think with our allies we should be enough to take him, hopefully. Tired. Obviously our character, talked about before, is beautiful, so I think that's the first time I've ever seen that nickname. I hope that would be the end of the war, but it is not. Don't want to lose development growth. keep building our windmills too. Okay, at only 45. All right, that's quite surprising. So obviously that's one of the new elder traits. Getting one at 45 is very young. Normally you don't see them show up until early 50s at the earliest. When our father died, one of my sisters got a county. It's somewhat unfortunate, but it does have the one benefit that I'll be able to use extort subjects. There we go. It's going to take quite a while to get the control up in Cologne, apparently. Oh, that's because we're currently isolated. Let's see if we can. Nope, still have plague. I think as soon as we remove isolated capital, we should get faster control growth. But I don't know. Could also be because of the plague there. Anyway, so I think let's go with Koblenz next. Talked earlier about being on total ex-slave independence. Getting Koblenz will help us link up with Cologne. We'll just need to figure out a way to get through Upper Lotharingia. Maybe I have the allies to do that. Otherwise, we'll just keep improving our domain. I said I was going to pay attention to my son. I have not done that as much as I should be. Probably also teach him a language. Obviously, we're going to want our son to marry someone who has an intelligence trait. Ideally genius, but if not, at least intelligent. Again, I think we'll still stay secluded. Okay, we did have another son. Now we'll make sure to educate him as well. Not particularly interested in having a bunch of nemesis and rivals that are going to try to murder me. So I won't do that. I guess enough of can emerge from seclusion and more importantly in capital isolation, which hopefully will make the control growth here go much faster. And then we might as well go on this hunt. Going to be blind at a quite young age. Our regent furthered mandate, that's just very helpful, is on fill coffer, so that's just great. Not as much gold as we can get. Again, we'll pay for the development growth. Windmills are starting to get very expensive, unfortunately. So now that our daughter has come of age, we'll educate our younger son. Wonder what the succession looks like. Okay. bit of prestige and some falconer experience. Generally good stuff here. Don't need an entrenched regent. Do need gold. Don't think we need that artifact. See if there are any close by duchies, and there really are not. So we will just wait on our claim on Koblenz to finish. Let's check on how expensive going to university would be. I'm guessing it'll be brutal. Wow. Okay. So we aren't doing that. May have to wait a bit before we can build other stuff. Don't know why. I really want my revenge on this guy. Maybe at some point in the future. Duchy of... I thought the Duchy of Lower Lotharingia didn't exist. Okay, so we don't, don't want to attack him, so we'll just take Koblenz. Again, might as well go grab it. So put us even a bit more over the domain limit, but that's life. We'll deal with it. Being 2 over the domain limit isn't too much of a concern if we get... we are now really losing a lot of gold, so we need this to be quick. Not sure why we're losing so much gold compared to before. Yeah. So that should help. We will get... This is my domain, allowing us to export subjects, which I think is pretty much just our sister. It's our only subject. We will definitely take this one. More gold. Legitimacy is less important since we don't have any vassals besides my sister is my only other real vassal. Didn't realize there was another castle here. Yeah, primary castle. We should have enough gold to last through this siege. While our allies and the enemy play Ring Around the Mountain. Oh, I guess the game ended. Don't want the secondary holding in there, certainly. Okay, let's check our son again. Just learn another language. I really like leaving them on organized court so their tutor has the highest aptitude possible. Hopefully, okay, we're 17.5. That's that's okay. Guess the penalty hasn't fully kicked in yet, so that's probably going to go down. If we have to give away one of these holdings, we'll do it. Okay, I actually kind of think I like that one because I like gold. Getting into some really expensive buildings here, but they do often have development growth benefits in addition to more taxes, so those are all helpful. He's trained for the tournament. Okay, so I gained strong, so I should be alive for a while. Hopefully enough to see our two boys come in. Just curious here if there are any genius girls he can marry. Nope. Not even someone. Well, there's someone who was quick. May just marry him to his to our niece here and really reinforce those two traits. Not a decision you have to make now. Indeed. I think we'll save all that for the next episode. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I hope you watch. Tune in for the next episode where we will sort of continue to, slowly, methodically rebuild our lands here. Thanks. Bye.